Opinions and views expressed in Political Talk belong to its commentators and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to this week's edition of Political Talk with Democratic commentator Dora Leland and Republican commentator Tom Santulli. As America nears 500,000 coronavirus deaths, the new White House task force says that number could grow substantially in the coming weeks. The Biden administration says it is pulling out all stops to fight the virus and get the vaccines into more people's arms. But it may still be months, not weeks, before the general public has access to the shots.
Right now, we really have a supply and demand problem. The demand for the vaccine is greatly outpacing the supply. And additionally, there's been really no real user-friendly guidance to help people navigate how to access the sites. Each state has acted on its own in distributing the vaccine, some better than others. I know that right now there's a real sense of frustration and anxiety and fear. People who want the vaccine are having a difficult time figuring out how to get it. There were some critical mistakes made early on. Former President Trump, promised 20 million vaccines by January 20th. In reality, less than 3 million were actually vaccinated by that date. And I think, like the handling of the pandemic, there was a real lack in federal leadership. There's no organization in distributing the vaccine, no systemic approach to how to organize it, and a real lack of emphasis on putting the public health in charge of the rollout. So I think that Biden has a lot to fix. There's a lot to undo. I am encouraged by his promise to increase state funding of $25 billion to get the vaccine distribution on par to where it should be. This is something that has to be coordinated between the federal government and the state governments to ensure citizens that they are in control of the rollout.
To go back where we started, if I could give the former president credit, he always didn't, in my opinion, I think, put out the seriousness of the problem with COVID-19. He tried to hold some of that back. I give him great credit for getting the vaccine established with Operation Warp Speed. That's what the federal government's good at. The feds are good at putting up money to the private sector, and then the private sector makes something happen. Those scientists have been working on this for a long time. All those billions of dollars they gave them allowed them to speed up the process. And it worked. They came up with a vaccine in a miraculous amount of time. Here's where I think the federal government missed the boat. They should have used the private sector, in my humble opinion, to distribute the vaccine. There are companies out there that's what they do for a living. Trump tried to say his general was going to do it. Well, I don't know what a general knows. I know he may be able to deliver tanks and troops, but can he deliver a vaccine? I don't know. Can they work with the states? I don't know. I would have given it to the people that feed those transportation companies that feed the pharmacies, that feed the hospitals. I think that it's out there. That's where their time should have spent. The federal government is just nothing but a bureaucracy. When it comes to implementing something, you got 1,000 cooks in the kitchen. And a lot of them aren't even qualified to have the job.
That will do it for this edition of Political Talk. For the very latest edition of Political Talk, simply log on to our website, mytwintiers.com. We'll be right back.